Alright, my name is Elgin, and this video I want to give a talk on personal reflection through learning data structures and algorithms. So data structure and algorithm, understanding this has been a nightmare for me, but then I found a Visual Studio extension that can draw data structure in real time as we debug the code, and you will see how pointers and indices change step by step. So the logic becomes visual and the bus pop out instantly. So if you are a person like me, struggling for DSA for a very hard time during the starting of the lectures, and you are preparing for DSA for the exam midterm, and so this is a very good extension to learn the data structure and algorithms. So with this context set, let's get started. So I got this little program here that I wrote in the last class of DSA. I will show how to use the visualizer debugging software. In order to see that visual in action, you need to go to the extension over there. You search for the debugging visualizer, and you need to install it if you haven't. So you see this little diagram over there. This is actually how this thing will work. Since I have already installed, I will not do that. So after you have installed, let's go back to the code. So in order to see the visualizer work, you need to write another code which is in the JavaScript form. And now you need to run the program. You can use Control P to open the command. So use Control P to open the command and debug. So in order to see how the stack A and B works, you need to add this little dot called the breakpoints. I will add here and this place. Okay. So let's now restart again. And now we open the source again. We find this, we open this debug visualizer new view to open this session. So in the debug visualizer, what you need to do is to type in array, and I will create a and I will initialize the array with this size of set by the constructor. And in the extractor, you choose array. You can see the array here to show the operation of push and pop. So after you have done this step, I will traversing the code here by using this step. So when I tap this step over, I will see the code traversing until this stop, and the process will appear on the visualizer. And from this method, we can clearly see how the stack is going. So I put 10 in the zero index, 20, 30. And the first part is execute the top, the value from the top will be removed, and 20. So now I want to show the array B. We will just change the A to B and run again. So array B is initialized with 10 of size. So now we push 1, 2, and 3 and pop from the array. Okay. So this is 1 and 2 is the remaining and 2 is the top. So using this tool totally changed my workflow. Instead of guessing why a pointer was out of bounds and or why an array wasn't clearing properly, I could pause the execution whenever I want and at any breakpoint to look at the truth of the data. For example, when I push 10, 20, and 30, I'm not just seeing the value of being pushed at the stack, I also seeing the physical layout of the grid changes. So it turns out an abstract of last in first out concept into a moving object. So I think this method made me more confident because I stopped guessing about the code and now I will start observing, see how the code run in visual mode. If you have another code of array, you also can do that. And for link this quick and the other the data structures is also applicable. Okay, so for this semester, what I can done to improve my learning of data structures and algorithms. So first of all, I will have major shift of my learning to the writing the code on paper. So it didn't just writing the code on computer and run on the terminal. So by writing out the code, the logic by hands, and drawing out the structure, this will fasten my brain during the exam. I can cope up with the time trouble I was in if I was facing some difficult problems. So doing more handwritten mode will train my skills of doing exam. So doing this on paper is not longer just memorizing. I also understanding the architecture of the problem at the same time. So another is switching to visual tools. So once I have the logic down on paper, I move to the digital side to check whether my logic is correct. I will keep using debug visualizer to see my data moving in real time. It's like having X-ray vision for your code. Instead of guessing if a value was added correctly, I can see it happen on the screen at real time. So it bridges the gap between the abstract theory I have written in textbooks and the actual execution on the machine. Next is using pause point. The secret is using pause point effectively by stopping the execution at specific lines. I can check the exact state of my variables at every single step. This prevents me getting lost in compressed loops of recursive calls from the function. Seeing the data from this way can help me build a much better mental map of how the software handles information. This will boost my understanding of the complex C++ code and some hardware logic projects that is incoming for this semester. So last is logic overgathering. So my biggest takeaway in this journey is that engineering is about efficiency. Instead of wondering what a program trusts, I use visual grade and handwritten logic to spot and fix the errors instantly. So if you are struggling with DSA, you can try to use the same method with me and to see if that works for you. So my advice is slow down and write it out by hand and then find a way to visualize it. This process will make a lot less frustrating to learn data structures and algorithms. And it is honestly a very a lot of fun to do this during the process of learning. So okay, so this is the ending of my video. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.